pro wrestling was going to be in the future. And like those matches back then completely stood out, and now they almost look like a regular Wednesday night. But
Yeah.
again, back then they were absolutely amazing. I mean, they still are amazing. But if you have
Yeah.
not seen any of their matches, go out of your way to watch those matches.
Yeah, like 100% go watch them.
Yeah.
So like I watched a lot of their matches. I watched a lot of Jazz's
Mm,
matches. I I like Chidu Suzuki. She's old school Japanese wrestling.
oh wow.
Yeah. So I would watch a lot of their stuff, right? And then there's a lot of luchadors I love to watch too. But anyways, so he was like, that was great. And then I met Jerry Lynn, and Jerry was like, I love it. I love the emotion. I love everything. Like, I love your back and forth. He's like, it's great. Like, it was more than anything I could have asked for. I think just being able to be in the same room with Jerry Lynn and
Hmm.
Chris Jericho and Dustin Rhodes and Cody Rhodes and get that feedback, it was amazing. Then Tony Khan asked me to go take pictures. And I
Oh,
went, oh, okay, which is unique for extra talent to go and take photos.
right.
So, and then they messaged me a couple weeks later and asked me to go to Jacksonville, Florida.
Mhm.
And I was, and this again was in the middle of COVID. So I went out there quite a bit. And it was great. And the one of the matches I had out there was against Sheeta. She was their
Oh,
women's champion. She had won the title, just won it the night before. And then
right.
they said, okay, she's going to defend it against you. And I met, oh my gosh, my brain is so blank right now. Sorry.
You've been running around. I completely understand.
Yeah, I'm like, my mind is blank.
Yeah.
But anyways, I got there and they were like, it's going to be a back and forth match. It's going to be 50-50. There were a lot of girls there that did not like that. They
Mm,
just were like, she's extra talent. She needs to be squashed.
jeez.
Like, yeah, it was as much as they said that their women's locker room was not toxic. They had a few key players there that were just awful to people. Um, so anyways, I was like, and Sheeta said, no, we're going to do it this way. It's not going to be a squash. It's going to be this.
That's awesome.
Right. And so we did it. We had the match and, like I went into the back and again, everyone was like, that was such a great match. Sheeta was like, that match was amazing. Thank you so much. Like it was good. It was a really great match. Everyone thought it was amazing. I thought it was great. I thought I did a great job. Meltzer gave me like rave reviews. I was actually trending on Twitter.
Whoa.
Yep. I was top 5 trending topics was Christi Jaynes.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. So that was pretty cool. They brought me back out a few other times. Um, just to kind of do all that. And then I went to the NWA from
Mhm.
there. I did the all women's pay-per-view that they
Mhm.
had, which was awesome. I met Mickie James and she was amazing. Um, and she also was like, wow, you're like really good. That's what I hear a lot. People are always like, you're really good, right? And I'm like, great, but I'm not signed, right?
Yeah,
So yeah, I went to the NWA and then Billy Corgan asked me to do a magician's assistant thing. And
I
I
remember
did the
that.
magician's assistant thing. And then he started letting me wrestle a little bit. And now, and I was wrestling down in Mexico and
Hmm.
here, and then I became AEW Pro in Chicago's women's champion, which that was awesome because I have been trying to get on with them for years.
Well, you beat Sky Blue to do it too. So
Yeah. Yeah, it was great. It was really great. I've met a lot of great people on my journey, and then I was just like, I think I want to do not only stunts but movies because first off they pay far better than wrestling. There's less chances of me getting hurt and dying,
right.
right? And when you're on set, the cattiness isn't there. There's no cattiness. So
Interesting.
yeah, so I was like, I think that's what I'm going to start doing. So now I wrestle for TSW, which is an amazing promotion
Mhm.
down in Texas, and then I wrestle for the NWA whenever they call me. And they're also a great promotion. When I was younger, I remember listening to Smashing Pumpkins, and I thought they were so progressive because they had a female
Yeah, female
in their
bassist.
band. And I was like, this is cool.
Hmm.
Like the lead singer is allowing a female in his band. Like, this is awesome, right? And I was like, I want to work with him one day. And lo and behold, I work with him at the NWA. Like I was like, I manifested this from when I was 14 years old. Like, I remember I won tickets off of a radio station called 101 The Bear. And I won backstage passes and tickets to a Smashing Pumpkins show.
Oh, that's cool.
And the night before, I snuck out my window to go to a party. And as I snuck back in the window, my mother was sitting on my bed. And
Oh,
she went, "You are not going to this concert." I had never seen Smashing Pumpkins in person, even though I work for Billy Corgan.
I will not tell you about the two times that I've seen the Smashing
Right?
Pumpkins.
So they played in Vegas on my birthday last year, and I was gonna go, but then I got really sick, like I was
Um,
puking everywhere, and I couldn't go. And he was even like, "Yes, come out for your birthday. We'll put you backstage. We'll have you come out, like all that stuff." Like he was so excited too, and then I got sick, so I
of
didn't go.
course. You still haven't seen him live.
Still haven't seen him live. Well, I work with him and
Right.
he's super creative and I love it. I love the opportunity that I have at NWA to be able to be independent and
Hmm.
do my own thing, but yet be part of a greater, bigger vision, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So did I
So,
answer all your questions in a big long rant?
um, no, because
Oh, okay, good.
because well, the way my brain works is like I'll just let you go, and then there's so many things that like I want to ask different questions about. So I'm glad that you did that because now anything I ever was gonna ask anyway was pointless because you told me everything.
Sorry.
No, I love it because I mean, you gave everybody the history of, how you started and like, so people who don't understand Pflugerville is not just so it's just outside of Austin, just north of Austin for people who do not know. And if you're driving south on 35 to go to Austin, you do see the sign for Pflugerville, and it's just hilarious every time I would drive down to Austin because it's like, Pflugerville. So I wanted to touch on that real fast. And yes, Pflugerville has very much been built up because it's like, and everything around Austin is just so much more massive than I imagine when you were going down there.
Yeah.
Also, we actually met in Vegas, and I want to tell you that it was my first time working. I guess I was still working. Yeah. We went and worked this was SummerSlam weekend, and I was with this local company called Pele Pro Wrestling. We were working with the is it what's the something of Hollywood? What's out in Vegas? Oh,
I have
what
no
company is
idea.
that? Yeah. Anyway, it's this company out in Vegas, and
Was I mean to you?
no,
Oh,
no.
good.
That's this story is you could not have been nicer. I don't know who you thought I was because you seemed super excited to see me, but I was like, I'm just gonna let this happen, and this is amazing. So,
Well, let me tell you this. I love my job. And when I am out wrestling, I am so excited that I am even privileged to be in the wrestling scene.
Oh,
And
same. Yeah.
I, everyone I meet, I treat them like I would want to be treated, right?
I love that.
Just because like my journey through wrestling has been rather rough. And I envision it for everyone else as like, I'm going to make it this glorious thing. So everyone I meet is my best friend. Everyone I meet is like the greatest thing ever. And they truly are, because, you know, you truly are the greatest thing ever in somebody's eyes. So I'm going to treat you like
Facts.
that.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
So yeah,
it was
that's
just
my
so funny
preference.
because there was like the guys I was with were just, I think we just randomly ran into you at this during and on the strip. And then yeah, we made a journey to a dispensary that happened to be way further away than I really thought it was going to be on the map, but it was a nice little journey, but it worked out.
Oh, wait, was I with Martin? Martin?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was.
Oh my gosh, that weekend was wild.
Well, what's funny is that
Crazy.
we did the Vegas show and then we flew to Chicago the next day. But it was the night after because we were going to do the Warrior show. So went to do the Warrior show. It was the night after CM Punk had came out on Dynamite, not Dynamite,
Yeah.
Rampage. And so, I was talking
Just
to other
say
people,
AEW.
right? And so I was talking to other people, that happened to be there. It was like, oh, how loud was it? What was it like? That kind of stuff. But yeah, and that night was crazy too, because then we end up at a bar afterwards with uh, Alan Angels and Thunder Rosa, who was not happy because they did not serve food there, and she very much wanted food.
Yeah.
But no, I mean that whole weekend for me, I was like, this is amazing, and this is why I love pro wrestling. Like, and like you said, just being a part of it for me is like, how am I here? Like, I'm always backstage, like, how did I get here? How am I supposed to be here? Like, they're not kicking me out, so I think I'm supposed to be here. And so, it's absolutely amazing. And then going forward, when the NWA was here in Forney last time, meeting Billy Corgan, and he's like, of course you go over and shake your hand, and he's like, oh, I'm William. I'm like, motherfucker, I know who you are. Like, I didn't say that, but I was like,
Right.
we know who you are, Billy Corgan. And he could not have been nicer to literally everybody. And he had
He
time for
is a super
everybody.
nice person.
Yes. He could not. And that the locker room there is absolutely amazing too. And I was lucky enough because they had me doing like B-roll for like the documentary, which you happen to be on Billy's documentary. They didn't, put your name up or anything, but I saw you multiple times on there. And but no, I did the B-roll for this last time, and I was involved in conversations I know for a fact I should not have been part of, but they knew that it was recorded, and I was like, okay, this is cool. This is I'm not supposed to be here again. And I love pro
Right.
wrestling, so this is absolutely amazing to me.
Yeah, it's awesome. Like, yeah, it was super, super cool. I don't know. Wrestling is interesting.
Hmm.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And like every time I've been at NWA, they're shockingly enough, my first time at NWA was not with Billy Corgan. It was with
Mm.
Bruce Thorpe when Bruce Thorpe used to own it.
Wow.
And they had, so Bruce Thorpe used to own it, and they had territories.
Hmm.
And one of the places was Sherman, Texas, the Elks Lodge. And I would go there and wrestle against, I wrestled against Barbie Hayden when she was their champion.
Wow.
And then I wrestled against, what's her name? She was right before Jazz.
Oh,
Amber O'Neil.
there you go.
I wrestled against Amber O'Neil a ton at different territories too. But I show up there one day. This is my story of Jazz. You got to hear this story. This story is the best story ever, ever. I love Jazz. Love her, love her, love her.
She
So,
could not be nicer also.
oh
Not to
my God.
kill her gimmick at all, because she is very intimidating and I don't want to fuck with Jazz, but she could not have been nicer to everybody that she
You
was
know
nice to.
what? She is nice, but she's